Hey guys, it's Monica, and in this video I will be sharing with you my all-time favorite life-changing health documentaries. If you're new, I post new videos twice a week on parenting, healthy living, and life with the little ones, and would love for you to consider subscribing to my channel, and be sure to hit the little notification bell so you get notified anytime I post new videos. So I will admit it, I'm a little bit of an info junkie. I love watching documentaries like a lot. And if there's a new health documentary that comes out, I'm on it. So I put together this top 10 list that I felt were really helpful to me in my health journey. Collectively, these films have really changed my life. I have learned so much from these films and the follow-up reading and research I've done about the information I learned in them. So without further ado, and this list is in no particular order, let's get started. The first film I'm including is Food, Inc. Now this was one of the first films that I saw about the food industry and how it works. And I learned how inhumane and economically and environmentally unsustainable our current conventional food system really is. This is a very enlightening watch and I highly recommend it. So the next film is Food Matters. And this is the one that really put into my head the relationship between food and health. And we all kind of know that on some level. You know that you're supposed to eat healthy, because if you don't, then you're not gonna be healthy. But the way that I thought about it before was a little bit removed from myself and really deeply understanding it. And this film kind of set that all straight for me. So I haven't really talked about this on my channel, but in 2012, I was diagnosed with a condition called POTS, or postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And it really knocked me out for quite a long time. And I'll probably do a video on that sometime soon, but it was the catalyst that led me down this health journey. And this movie was one that really helped me make that leap from being really ill and not being able to function very well to getting my life back and learning how to make lifestyle changes and improve my overall health. Next up, Sugar Coated. So this one is great and really examines the relationship between sugar and our excess intake of it in this culture and its relationship to morbidity and mortality. It really examines and shows some pretty damning evidence that our addiction to sugar really needs to be evaluated and corrected to make healthy changes in our lives. And what I thought was really interesting and intriguing was the connection they draw between the tobacco industry from 50, 60 years ago to the sugar industry today. And I'm sure you've seen those old ads where there used to be commercials promoting cigarettes and saying, my doctor recommends smoking this cigarette, and it was an accepted thing and it was done everywhere and it was just a part of the culture and nobody really questioned it. So I won't ruin anything else for you, but it is a really interesting watch. Next up is Forks Over Knives. So this is one that you should definitely watch if you're thinking about or contemplating cutting or reducing your meat intake. I think this was one of the ones that was a turning point for me when we decided to go pescatarian. This one takes a look at our meat intake and our culture and its relation to health, and looks at a particular study called the China study, which examines a lifespan and health in relation to diet across China. And it's a very interesting film. The next two I'm clumping together. I don't know that you need to watch both because there's a lot of the same information in each of them, but they're done in different ways. So I'll tell you a little bit about both and then you can decide if you want to watch both or maybe one or the other. These two films are The Human Experiment and Chimeric. I think that's how you say it. And they both examine our exposure to chemicals in our everyday lives and how that affects our health. Chimeric isn't the highest production value, but I do think it has some great info on the subject, and it follows a family as they rid their house of toxic products. And the Human Experiment film is definitely a higher production value and is more of your typical format of a documentary film. Both are full of a lot of useful and helpful information, and I enjoyed them both. The next one up is Vegucated. This is another one that examines the meat industry, and if you're on the fence about eating meat or your thoughts on it, this one could very well take you over the edge. It looks at the issue from less of a health perspective, in my opinion, and more from an ethical stance. But also it's very informative when it comes to commercial farming practices. Next up, Cowpiracy. So this is a newer documentary from the same maker of What the Health, which is a pretty popular film circulating right now. I haven't included it in the list, but it's definitely worth a watch. But this one in particular examines the beef industry and looks at its contribution to environmental pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. I mean, it's called Cowpiracy, so I think it's okay to say that it's kind of filmed in that conspiracy documentary format that you may or may not be drawn to, but it also offers a very informative and eye-opening look at the meat industry. Okay, so next on the list is Fed Up, It also looks at sugar and the food industry and its relation to the obesity epidemic in our culture. It examines shifting the blame from saying that the reason people are so unhealthy and obese and we have this epidemic and maybe doesn't fall on the consumer, and what could be done industry-wide to improve health in our country. It's a very eye-opening and interesting watch as well. Next up is Super Size Me. So Super Size Me is an older film, and I would imagine a lot of people have already seen it, but if you haven't seen it and you are still eating fast food, I would definitely take a look at it. So in this film, Morgan Spurlock literally eats McDonald's every day for a month, and if he's ever offered the choice to supersize, then he supersizes and monitors the effect of this on his overall health. It examines the influence of the fast food industry and its effect on our health as a culture. Okay guys, that's my list. There is so much knowledge in these films that can really help to improve your overall health if you let them. And I say that even after completing nursing school and the wealth of information I learned there, including classes on health and nutrition, physiology, and anatomy. But I really feel that it is beyond useful and important to always continually educate ourselves. In fact, as a nurse and across many professions, it's required to have continuing education. I don't think we should just limit that to nursing or whatever field you're in. I think that we will all benefit through continuing our education throughout our lives. Are there any health food documentaries that I didn't include in here that you think should have been included or you think I should watch? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you watched these and what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more.